big night on campus for Wisconsin rowing and an even bigger night for brain cancer awareness.
Badger men's and women's crew competed simultaneously against top rowers from Princeton, MIT, Stanford, and Syracuse to raise money for a very important cause. It was the 4th annual Connors Erg Challenge. Lake Mendota is still covered with ice, but inside the Porter Boathouse on the UW-Madison campus, the racing season is here.
2, 1, row!
The Badger men's and women's crew came together for a night of intense competition and to help Liz Dawes do something good.
Our family is from Wisconsin. And
from Beaver Dam?
From Beaver Dam.
Yeah.
My husband and I went to the University of Wisconsin in Madison. Our family, our kids were born in Milwaukee, so we are Wisconsin.
Liz traveled to Madison all the way from Melbourne, Australia to watch the Badgers compete in the 4th annual Connors Erg Challenge. The event was created in honor of Liz's son, Robert Connor Dawes, who was born in Wisconsin and raised in Australia. It was Connor's dream to row at either Wisconsin or Stanford. But at 18, in his senior year of high school, Connor was diagnosed with brain cancer and passed away 16 months later.
He was diagnosed, and that was devastating. We were not prepared. He obviously was having some cognitive issues and balance issues, which led to the diagnosis. He had surgery, he had radiation, he had rehab, he had chemo at the end. But unfortunately, if you have a malignant brain tumor, there aren't a lot of options.
What did Connor love about rowing?
He loved the camaraderie. It was hard work, but it felt good. He loved the idea that you had to work together for a common outcome, that no one could be better than somebody else. You had to work in unison. It is the ultimate team sport.
Liz channeled her grief into a foundation that's raised more than $5 million for pediatric brain cancer research. The Ergathon is a big part of that.
An erg is the device that you usually see in health clubs. You know, the thing that you sit on and you go back and forth, and in health clubs generally you don't see them going particularly hard or for very long, but anything with a thon stuck on the end usually means whatever the misery is, you just multiply it by long distances.
The goal is to go 100 kilometers in the fastest time possible.
Normally erg, again, no one considers erging, boy, that's what I'm going to do with my spare time. I'm going to go erg because it's so fun. However, it's set up in such a way that each guy has to go 500 meters, which isn't very long in rowing. It's somewhere around 1:30, and they do it 8 times.
The rowers go as hard as possible for an hour, and as the clock counts down, it gets intense. Winning the Connor Cup is about much more than having the fastest time. It's about working together to keep a dream alive.
It reminds me so much of what Wisconsin is. Wisconsin, to me, not having lived here but coming back, is just people get behind things, and it's a genuine. Our son is from Wisconsin. He loved to row. He was cheated of that chance, and so you don't have to say much more than that. Everybody just rallies around it.
Especially young kids. Now I'm sounding like, you know, hey, get off my lawn, kind of old guy. But they just think they're going to live forever. And if we can do our little part, especially here at UW, where there's such an incredible medical establishment, to raise some money and for a great cause, and also have some fun.
So when it was all over, the men from Syracuse and the women from Princeton had the fastest times in the ergathon, but the Badgers won the fundraising competition. They raised over $35,000, and all together this year, the Connors Erg Challenge raised $70,000 for the Robert Connor Dawes Foundation. If you'd like to help the cause or learn more about it, go to rcdfoundation.org. So it started initially with just Wisconsin and Stanford, the two schools that Connor was deciding between. But this was the first year it expanded to 5. And they all did it at the same time, simultaneously.
Raised a lot of money.
Yeah.
And your alma mater won, Syracuse.
Yeah, the men did, yeah. Now, you're an erger, so you kind of have this...
Well, I do it at the health club. I don't do that. But I think 5,000 meters is the most I've ever done at one time.
Yeah.
It's hard work.
It is so much harder than it looks. The women's coach, BB Bryans, was saying to me that it's sort of like cross-country skiing with weights on.
Yeah.
That was the best way she could describe what it's like.
It's incredible.
Yeah, they're amazing athletes.
Good. Including your son.
Yeah, that little glimpse of him in there
was
as well.
A quick shot of Matthew.
Well done, Badgers.
Congratulations, everyone. And we'll be right back with a final check of your forecast.